Hi guys, Dennis Garcia here. How the fuck are you guys doing? I'm not doing well, to be honest. As you guys can see, I shaved finally. Well, not finally. I was not planning on shaving. I was planning on just letting it grow and just becoming the homeless person that I was destined to be. But for some reason, I woke up today and I was like, you know what? I want to look barefaced today. I want to look like I'm 17 again. And so I shaved, and I think it looks good. It makes my face look skinnier, which I never thought I'd say that because I have such a fat face. Like, I literally have a fat chin, guys. I just noticed today that I'm like getting like a little double chin here, which I don't know how is happening since I exercise almost every day. And yeah, also my hair looks cute from the front, but if I turn, the back does not look cute. I spent most of today at the at the coffee shop, working on my psychology research paper, which is worth like half of my grade. So I had to finish it. Right now I'm on spring break, which is really nice. I can just like, well, I can't really relax. But I'm on spring break, so I don't really have to go to school, which is nice. But my English class and my psychology class decided that it would be a great idea to give me essentially my midterms during spring break, which has been super fun. I have the burps right now. I hope you don't hear it on the camera. It's been super fun, but the good news is that I got both of those done today and I turned them in, and I don't have anything else to do for the rest of the week. Guys, today's video is going to be one of those videos where I just kind of sit and talk to you guys and we just rant a little about life. There is a couple things that I want to talk about today, but before we jump into it, yeah, we're gonna just finish talking about school because I was mid-sentence before I rudely interrupted myself. I start work tomorrow. I got a job, guys. I finally have a job, and I start my new job tomorrow, which is really exciting. I'm not gonna tell you guys where I work because I don't want you guys getting me fired, which how you would get me fired, I don't know. But a lot of people are crazy on the internet, and you never know what somebody is thinking until you give them an idea, and I just gave you guys that idea, so hopefully you guys don't find out where I work. Anyways, I start my new job tomorrow, which is really exciting, so I'm really happy about that. I can finally afford food again. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have money right now. I still have some cash left over from my financial aid, so that's covering me. Why am I talking about this? Why am I getting into this? See, this is what happens whenever I have like an uncut video or a raw unedited video. I'm just like, let's just blab about whatever. And I feel like the need to just keep the conversation going, obviously, because like I'm the only one holding the conversation. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I feel very like energetic. I feel very extroverted today. Even though I spent the last 2 days feeling like miserable, depressed sack of shit, apparently Mercury is in retrograde, which I just found out from a friend of mine that Mercury is in retrograde, and that's why I've been feeling like shit. And I am the type of person that like, I really don't like to share how I'm feeling. I take pride in keeping everything to myself, because a lot of the times I feel like every single person that you are dealing with, every single person that you meet, whether it's like your family or your friends or even a therapist, when you're opening up to somebody, you are essentially handing them your baggage on top of the shit that they're going through already. So for me, I think it has a lot to do with me being a Leo. I'm a fire sign. It has a lot to do with me being prideful. But today, for some reason, every time that like astrology and the stars and like Mercury is in retrograde and all that stuff is going on, I feel like I get to the point where like I can't hold things in. Not necessarily hold everything in, but kind of what is on the surface. It's essentially like kind of opening a bottle of Coke that you shook a little. You open it and only the top parts like fizz out. It's kind of like that, where like I only want to talk about the shit that I'm currently going through, and not necessarily like shit that I've been through over the last year that I've been bottling up, which I don't really bottle up shit. I just prefer to talk about it with you guys on YouTube than to just like talk about it to like my mom or my sister-in-law or a friend, because I don't feel like I'm putting my baggage onto you guys. I don't feel like I'm sort of adding to your problems. I feel like we're just kind of, you guys are like my therapist in a way. Like, you're listening to me, you give me feedback, but at the same time, I am not giving you my problems. So it makes me feel better to like talk about my own issues on YouTube than to like give them to a personal friend or somebody that I personally know, even though a lot of people that I personally know watch my videos. Yeah, so Mercury's in retrograde, which is fun. Every single time that Mercury's in retrograde, I have like the worst everything for like a couple days. And the last 2 days have just been kind of shitty. And I didn't want to like confirm that Mercury was in retrograde. I didn't want to like look it up. And hold on, I got a text from my brother. I didn't want to confirm that indeed Mercury was in retrograde, but my friend confirmed it for me that it is. And now I know why I've been feeling so emotional for the last couple of days. Today was just like one of those days where like I just hit my point. It's the stupidest shit, but it was like things just piling on top of each other, and then all of a sudden I was hungry. I took a nap, woke up from my nap, and I was hungry, and I decided that I really was craving Applebee's wings. And so anytime that I have gone to Applebee's in the 2 years that I've gone every now and again to get food, my food's always hot. I go in, I order it to go, I take it to go, and my food has always been hot. So I called them. I was like, hey, I want to order these boneless wings, blah, blah, blah. They were like, okay, come pick them up at 6:05. I got there at 6. They gave me my food. I came home, opened up my food, and the wings were fucking cold. Like, they were freezing. Like, they were frozen cold, and they had all the sauce on it already. And I didn't want to have to go back and like complain and bitch and get a refund or like get a fresh new batch, because I shouldn't have to. And I didn't want to pop them into like the microwave or the oven, because they're already like all mixed and I don't want them to get all like mushy and disgusting. So regardless of how they came out, I still ate them. And then I ate like half of them. I bought like 15 of them because they were half off because of happy hour pricing. And I was not satisfied. For the first time, I was not satisfied with Applebee's. And just small things like that happening have just like been the death of me also. Can you guys see my lamp? My beautiful Himalayan lamp that I bought like a few months ago. I am obsessed with it. It honestly has helped me feel more positive and more better. I don't know if it's like a placebo effect. I don't know if it's like all bullshit, but I believe in like this whole spiritual guide-ness of life. I believe in karma. I believe in like universe stuff, spiritual stuff, astrology shit. Like, I'm a big firm believer in like that kind of shit. So like I bought that at a store called Black Market Crystals. It's in Arizona Mills. It's not like a black market, like it's not bad shit. They have some really cool stuff from like all over the world. But I bought that for like $15. And I've had it on there for a while now. And I just feel like it makes me feel more positive and more happier. Because honestly, before I had that salt lamp, my room was miserable. Like, my room was a place where I'd come and just like be super depressed and not want to get out of bed. And now I'm still depressed, but like I want to get out of bed now. I want to do stuff while depressed and anxious. So like, no, I'm kidding. As far as like my anxiety goes, it has been leaving my body slowly but surely. And I think college has a lot to do with that. I'm really sorry, guys. This video is like all over the place. I know this isn't me. I don't usually like do these unplanned videos. I usually have like a point, and I don't follow a script, but I have an outline of like what I want to talk about. But today I threw up, not physically. I threw up my lights, and I turned on the camera and I sat on the floor, and we're just going with the flow. like my hair. We're just going with the flow. What was I talking about? Yeah, anxiety, depression. My depression's still there. It like lingers, like it's holding on for dear life, but like it's still there. My anxiety is really not as bad as it was like a few months ago, and I think a lot of that has to do with college and the fact that I'm being forced to talk to people. I had so far in the last 2 months, I've had to do 3 group presentations in front of my classes, in front of my psychology class, in front of my English class. I have another huge paper project group presentation that I got to do for my psychology class over the next month, and I'm not really nervous at all. I find it gets easier to do public speaking, because even though I have a stutter and even though I have like this shit going on, whatever, I see other people who are like normal in a sense. They don't have a stutter and they still fucking stutter because they're like nervous and scared. So like I have gotten okay with the fact that, hey, sometimes I'm gonna stutter and stammer, and like it's whatever. It's life. Everybody gets nervous, everybody gets scared, everybody wants to be liked, and aside from that, I have a story that happened yesterday that I really didn't want to talk about because I don't like talking about my love life anymore, because I feel like my love life is either empty or just like really sad, and I don't want to be that person that like always negatively talks about his love life, because one, it's really non-existent. I have been single now for the last over 2 years now, since December of 2016. So yeah, a good 2 years and like 3 months. And I've gone on very seldom dates. I think over the course of the last 2 years, I have been on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dates, maybe 7 if I'm like being really generous with myself, maybe 7. And overall, I've had like maybe 1 good date out of those 7 dates that I've had. And about a week ago, I started talking to this guy on Bumble. And right off the bat, he like was very smart. He was very well spoken. He like knew how to carry a conversation, which is all that I asked for. Whenever I talk to somebody on Bumble or on a dating website, sorry, I keep like looking at myself in the viewfinder because I feel cute today. I feel really fucking cute. Might delete later. I don't know. I'm not gonna delete this video. What the fuck? Apologies for the long rant, by the way. I know we're going on 13 minutes right now, but if you guys like these type of videos, let me know. I'll keep doing them. Anyways, rewind. Met this guy on Bumble. We started talking, and he was very well spoken, very smart, and that's all I asked for. Whenever I talk to somebody on Bumble or on Tinder or on any online dating, to me, looks isn't up there with the things that I want in a relationship. For me, it's more personality. Can you hold a conversation? That's the top part right there. So my criteria, or the way that I like, the things that I have like a checklist of guys that I think would be perfect for me is 1, top of the list, can you hold a conversation? 2, are you like a family person? Do you love your family? Do you get along with them? I love my family. I may not get along with them as much as I would like, but I do love them, and I do consider myself a family person. Third on the list is, do you have a sense of humor? You don't have to be funny. Like, I'm not asking you to make me laugh, but can you take a joke? Can you have a dark sense of humor? I have a dark sense of humor, guys. I will talk about death, and I will talk about things dying, and my humor is very dark, but that's just who I am. So if I make a dark, insensitive joke, are you gonna get offended or are you gonna laugh? I need somebody that has a dark sense of humor and can take a dark joke. Fourth on the list is probably looks. Like, if you don't have to be like good looking, you don't have to have abs, but like to me, you have to be cute. And And that's pretty much it. Like, those are my criterias of kind of what I base what I want in a relationship. And so this guy pretty much checked off all of that. And we talked for a couple of days, and we agreed to go on a date yesterday, which was Monday, March 12th. No, today's March 12th. It's Tuesday. Yesterday was March 11th. And so we had been talking for like a couple days, and like the conversation was really great. Like, we talked late into the night, and he texted me really early, and it was a lot of like good mornings and like how's your day going and things like that. And so the day finally came yesterday where we were going to meet up for this date. Now, we hadn't really planned it, but it turns out that the place that I go to do my homework is a place that he goes to do his job. So we both go to this coffee shop constantly, but we've never crossed each other's paths because we're both in different parts of the coffee shop, which is a pretty big coffee shop. It's upstairs and like downstairs and outside. So we've never actually crossed paths while we were both there at the same time. And so he was like, well, I'm gonna be there anyways, and you're gonna be there, so like, why don't we just work together? You can do your homework, I'll do my job, and we'll talk, and we'll just kind of get to know each other. And I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool. Like, that sounds really chill. There's not too much pressure. Like, we're not going out to eat. Like, there isn't a pressure to keep a conversation going. If things get a little bit boring or stagnant or conversation isn't flowing, we can just focus on our work and then come back to talking. And we spent probably a good 5 hours together, just like going back and forth between like the things that we were trying to get done on the computer to like talking and conversating. And then it came to like 4 o'clock, and traffic was going to be super horrible. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna go now. But I had a great time. I told him, I was like, I had a great, fantastic time. It was really fun talking to you. You're really awesome. And we like hugged, and he like embraced me, and he gave me like a really great hug. And I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't want to like kiss him, even though I thought about it. I was like, should I go in for the kiss? But like, I'm horrible with like dating and all this shit, so like I didn't want to fuck it up. So I was like, you know what, no, I'm not gonna go in for the kiss. If there's a second date, he'll tell me, and that'll be that. So I hop in the car, and he texts me, and he was like, hey, text me, you know, once you get home, because yesterday was like raining hardcore here. And he's like, I just want to check that you're okay and that you got home safe and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, it's really sweet. Like, nobody's ever asked me that before. So I get home, and like I text him. I was like, hey, I'm home. And we like text maybe like twice after that, and then I don't really talk to him the rest of the night. And today we were actually supposed to go to the coffee shop again and meet up, and this time we were just gonna watch RuPaul's Drag Race, because I guess he's not done with All Stars yet. So he was like, hey, if you want to come back to the coffee shop tomorrow, we can watch Drag Race and kind of have a second date type of thing. And I was like, yeah, that sounds really cool, actually. It sounds really fun. And he'll like so from the time we started talking, he would always text me like really early, because his job that he has is on, I think, the East Coast. So he decided to come back to Phoenix, but he still has his job from over there. So like he has to do everything at their time. So he's always up pretty early. And today I got a text from him like around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And he was like, hey, I was super exhausted last night. I think I'm sick. And he didn't necessarily say like, oh, can we reschedule? He was just like, oh, I'm sick, I have a cold. And I'm the type of person that can like read energies. Like I can sense things. And so obviously I kind of began to overthink, and I was like, maybe the date last night didn't go as well as I thought it did. And so I was like, yeah. So like around noon, I was like, okay, well, you know, I hope you feel better. I hope that things go good for you today. And I was like, hey, if you need me to like bring you soup or something, like just let me know. Like I am the type of person that like takes care of my friends and the people that I care about. So even though I had just had this like one date with him, because we had been talking so, I don't want to say intimately in like an intimate way, but we had been talking very personally. You know, he's a cool guy, and like I would definitely bring him soup if that's something that he asked for, just because I'm that type of person that like I give my all to people. And so I texted him that, and then that was that. So after that, I haven't gotten a text back from him since like 12 o'clock. So now it's 9 o'clock p.m. It's been like 7 or 8 hours since I last heard from him. And you know how like whenever you start talking to somebody and it's like this endless conversation of like pleasant thoughts and like talking to people and everything's going great, and like all of a sudden they just like switch and they don't text you, and it's really not that hard to pick up on a switch when something just kind of like switches and you're like, okay, we had this really good conversation and then all of a sudden we don't talk. And like I know I sound a little crazy, but I can read into that. I can sense the energy in that. And so as I was thinking in my head, in his shoes, what he felt the date was like, maybe it wasn't good for him. And I never thought to think like how he felt after the date. I only thought about how I felt after. And so not getting a text back for as many hours as it was, I just figured it would be best and it would be in my best interest to just kind of like text him a closing, because for me, I'm the type of person that likes closure. I like to have an ending to things. I like to have either a solution or just an answer. And I basically texted him and I was like, hey, like I want to just tell you that I had a great night last night. You were an amazing date. You're a really awesome guy. On the other hand, I feel like maybe you were not that into the date. And if you weren't, like, that's totally fine. Like, some people are not meant to be together. And I feel like maybe I myself came off better in paper and over text than in real life. And like that happens. I'm awkward. I'm an awkward person. Like for all of you guys that see me on Instagram and Snapchat and on my Insta stories and shit like that, or on here, I'm very like bubbly and talkative and like I can talk your ear off. I've been talking for 23 minutes. I don't even talk for 2 minutes to my parents. I'm a very different person online than I am in real life. And I think a lot of it has to do because I'm afraid to like stutter in front of people. So I tend to keep quiet, or maybe I don't talk as much. Even though yesterday we did talk a lot and I did talk to him a lot. And even though I did, you know, like stammer here and there, we did talk. And so I feel like maybe like the way that I talked turned him off, or he thought that I was better looking in pictures than in person. I don't know. I knew in my heart that I probably would not talk to him again. So I figured for my sake, for my soul, I would just kind of give myself closure by letting him know like, hey, I completely get it. Maybe I'm not the correct person for you. Regardless though, I had a great time. I had a fantastic time, and you're a great guy. And if you ever decide that you want to go on a second date, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great night. And that was it. That's how I left it. And I sent him that text. What time did I send him that text? I sent him that text at 7:12. So it's been like a little over an hour since I've texted him that, and I don't intend to get a reply, but if I do, I will update you guys. Aside from that, aside from the whole I had a good date, he didn't have a good date, Mercury in retrograde, my anxiety slowly leaving my body and my depression clinging on for dear life, I've actually been having a pretty good week, even though emotionally, ow, my foot's asleep. Emotionally and mentally, my week has been kind of, it's been kind of rough. Physically, I'm great. I had to think for a minute what I wanted to say because I lost track of what I was talking about. But aside from that, you guys, that is the end for this week's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys had some food. I hope that you guys made it this far. If you did, leave a thumbs up on this video. Let me know that you guys have watched it this far. Also, leave a comment down below letting me know if you watched the whole damn thing, because I probably wouldn't unless it was like Trisha. I watch all her videos no matter how long they are. I would just like sit there and eat my food and just watch her 2-hour-long videos. But I don't know if I'm interested enough to watch a 26-minute video of me ranting about my love life and astrology and shit like that. But I'm glad to be back on YouTube, and I'm glad that I feel better. Aside from that, I am going to go now. I'm gonna go upload this right now. Okay, you guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow me on all my social media websites. If you want to know what I'm up to between uploads, all of my information for all of my social media websites will be down in the description box below. You guys can follow me on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Twitter, and on Facebook. I'm very active on most of those besides Facebook, but if you guys want to get to know me personally, you can definitely add me on Facebook. All of that stuff will be down in the description box below. Aside from that, guys, I hope that you guys are having a good day and a good week and a good month and a good year and a good life. And I will see you guys on the next one. And my foot's asleep, so I'm gonna try to cut the camera, but my foot is numb and it's tingling. Ah! Okay, bye.